everybody, it's your friend Rhonda Marsh, and I came on here to talk about a specific subject that I have been hearing so much about lately. So and especially from men for some reason, but I keep hearing, I'm lonely, I'm lonely, I'm lonely. I'm so lonely. And people are just like searching on like dating apps, swiping left, swiping right, just, I'm so lonely, I don't want to be alone, I have a problem with being alone. And I understand that because I live here. Basically, I have my children, but I moved here from Florida and I was with my sister, but I was all alone. I had no family except for my sister. And then she moved to Macon, Georgia, and then I was here all alone. And I had 2 little babies, and I was just opening a business, so there was no way that I could leave and just follow my sister. But we're talking about relationships, okay? We're not talking about just being here without family, although that was what I used to constantly be in a relationship because I felt so alone. I just felt like I needed somebody to complete me. I was not worthy if I was alone. I don't know if worthy is the right word, but I just wasn't complete. I needed somebody to complete me. And I'm going to tell you something. You don't need anybody to complete you except for you and God, and that's all you need. Like, so many people out there settling on less than the best for their life, settling because they're afraid of being alone. And I used to be that way a long time ago. When I went through my total transformation 3 years ago, and I decided to submit my will for God's will, I haven't had any toxic relationships. And that's because I'm alone, and I choose to be alone. And I also think that's when God can really get you in a place where you realize being alone is not a curse. It's not something bad. It's actually, if you're alone and God is speaking to you and He wants that one-on-one time with you, that is so valuable. Because if you can give all the wrong people all your time, try giving the right person your time. Try it. Just try it. Yeah, it's hard at first. I get it. But it gets easier. It gets so much easier. It really does. I used to just be like, couldn't wait to get off work and go home and spend time with God. And that would mean like reading books. I listened to a lot of Joyce Meyer. I listened to a lot of preaching, and I read my Bible, and then I started watching the series The Chosen. If you have not seen the series The Chosen, it is a life changer. I mean, a life changer. You get to actually see the Bible like being acted out in real life. You get to see Jesus in a whole new light. You don't get to see Him in that 12 last hours of agony as most movies show. You get to see Him laughing. You get to see Him joking. You get to see Him like being with His disciples. You get to know the disciples. Like, you don't just see a suffering Jesus. You actually feel so much closer to Jesus than you've ever felt in your life. And there's just, I don't know, for me, I'm not religious, and I really want to make that clear. I have relationship. Religion is organized, okay? It's a lot of religions go by the old law. I believe Jesus came to fulfill the law and to give us free will And it doesn't make it right if we willingly go out and sin because he died for us on the cross. But we're not under that old law. I don't keep God in this little box the way that I used to when I was in wrong churches and things like that. I go to a non-denomination church. And so I have finally learned how to serve God out of love and not out of fear. And I can't do fear-based churches. If you don't do this, oh my God, God's wrath is going to come upon you, or if you don't do that, I don't put God in a box anymore. But for me to know that my Father wanted one-on-one time with me, I feel like something's on my face, but it's like he wants, just think if God said to you specifically, hey, I want some one-on-one time with you. Who better to spend one-on-one time with than your Creator? The person that knows your struggles, the person that knows everything you've been with, the person that wants you to stop settling, the person that is speaking greatness into your life, a great future, if you will just trust him. You've got to trust him. So when I started spending time alone, it was really difficult. But I was tired of toxic relationships. I was tired of drama. I was tired of being worried. I was tired of being stressed. I was just like, I finally got to the point where I was like, you know what? I just want to be alone. I just want to be alone and work on me. And that's what some of you people out there need to do. You need to work on yourself. You don't need anybody to feel worthy, to feel valuable. All you need is that one right there. That's it. It's really quite simple. So after I got off work, I actually couldn't wait to get home and spend time reading and spend time, and I mean quality time, with my God. Okay? I have relationship. I do not do religion. I was talking to somebody the other day. He was so lonely. He just, he's going through a separation. He's going through a divorce. His divorce isn't final, and he's already out there seeking the next one. And I was like, why are you doing that? Just spend some time with God. Because if you go looking, and I firmly believe this, if you go looking, you're going to find trouble. That's what has happened to me. Every time I went looking, I found somebody, all right, but it was trouble and it was toxic. And I said to him, do you trust God explicitly that he will present the right one to you at the right time? And he loves you. He just wants to spend some one-on-one time with you. You shouldn't be looking for somebody to date until your divorce is final. God, let me tell you this, God is not going to give you somebody else's spouse. He's not going to do that. And I learned that the hard way. I dated somebody that was going through a divorce. And guess what? When their divorce was final, I was out. I was that bridge that gapped from here to here because that person didn't want to be alone. And I knew that I shouldn't have done that. But I justified it to myself by saying, oh, he's going through a divorce. They've already been separated for a while. It's going to be okay. No, it wasn't okay. It's not okay. Okay, so wait until you're divorced before you start dating. Use that time for you. You have to get past all that past, or you're going to just carry it over into another relationship, and you're going to hurt somebody else by doing that. But I find, like, Jesus is my friend. He is everything to me. Like, I just take him along. Like, I talk to him in the car beside me, like, hey, get in the car, we're going to go to work now. Like, I know that sounds funny, but it's true. Once you have that type of relationship, you will not need anybody else to make you feel worthy. So I'm just want to say, do not settle because you're lonely. Fill that loneliness with things that are good. Journal, read, listen, and you will start to realize that God has the very best for you. And even sometimes, it's been 3 years for me, I'm like, hey, I'm still here, I'm still waiting, and the same thing comes back to me. Do you trust me explicitly? I see you over there, Rhonda. I got you. I ain't forgot about you. But I'm not just going to give you mediocre. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to give you my best. And he might be out there grooming that man for me right now. Maybe he's not ready for this. I'm writing a book. I'm doing things that fill my time manifesting a life that I want, that has nothing to do with toxic, has nothing to do with drinking, has nothing to do with the old me. I died to self. I died to self, which was the hardest thing I've ever done, but the greatest thing I ever done. And now I don't get lonely anymore. Sometimes you do get lonely. You do wish God would provide you that partner that you could walk through life with, share everything that you have with. You see other couples and you're like, oh, God, what about me? I'm still here. But you know what? He hasn't forgot about you. He's not going to forget about you. But he needs an act of trust. He needs that act of trust. So, like I said, I'm not religious, but do I trust God? 100%. 100%. People, you don't need anybody else. All you're going to do is just drag your baggage over into the next relationship. Get whole, get healed, work on you. It is the best gift that you can ever, and I mean ever, give to yourself. So that's all I came to say. Do not settle. Trust God. And you know what? Be alone for a little while. You'll be surprised after you're alone just how picky, how high your standards get, and how many more boundaries that you have. That you will not accept less. I will not accept less than God's best for my life. So I would rather be alone than to be with the wrong one. So I hope you guys have a good day, and I will see you later.